All right, everyone, it's that time of week again. We're going to go over some weekly charts for Bitcoin and other cryptos, for FX, for stock markets. I'm going to give you some ideas in which I'm watching in individual stocks. So strap in, grab your coffee or tea or beer whenever you're watching this, and let's get right into it. And starting with, as always, Bitcoin, because what a wild week in crypto. What a wild week in the stock market. Where's my button? There's my button. No, there's my button. There we go. So, interesting week in Bitcoin. I've been talking about, we can highlight it, this area right here for the longest time. This overhead supply from 2021 and then again late 2021, early 2022. For the longest time, and that as we were getting up here, we were getting a little overextended at this zone. Rest was needed, and it looks like we may have gotten that. I talked about how maybe if we broke this tail here, I would look to short or something, but again, no trades yet. But a nice bullish week here on Bitcoin with a nice close at highs here on Bitcoin. So if this can continue and break out of this zone into new all-time highs, then I think we could get going on Bitcoin. We had a commitment of traders report that came out and showed that there's a lot of people out there that are actually shorting Bitcoin at these levels. So if those people end up being wrong, then again, I think there's a play there. But there's a lot of ifs between then and now. But constructive week after a nice pullback certainly could be a slingshot to push higher here. Again, if we can get down here, then maybe I'll start to look bearish. But for now, if anything, I'm looking to see if we can break these highs to take a scalp long. Ethereum just can't get going, right? So Ethereum and all of these other altcoins are the dogs, where we have Bitcoin being the leader. It's nothing wrong with that, right? If there has to be leaders and there has to be laggards or losers in every market, it looks like Bitcoin's going to be the overall leader, at least for now. ADA can't get going. Doge can't get going either. Even with the GameStop move, none of these crazy coins really got going. So, again, it doesn't really shock me too much, but it is what it is, right? We need to expect that, hey, if this is going to be the market as we see it, again, we're going to have to trade the strength, and the strength right now is in Bitcoin. If we go to the daily chart, just kind of a nice chop sideways mess here, a nice little breakout here. 4-hour chart, again, just nice kind of cup and handle. You can see I have an anchored view out from here and an anchored view out from these lows. We broke those handily on this candle right here, and then we've just kind of been consolidating, seeing if we may want to take another push up here on Bitcoin. So let's take a look at some of the other currencies. I guess we can start with gold. Gold getting very close to an all-time highs. We talked about it pulling back to the anchored view up from the breakout. We talked about this little support zone right here. Looks like we may be taking a shot at that. Silver has been absolute rocket ship. I mentioned this zone here last week. If we could get through that zone, we could get some. I did get some silver here as well. Nice push out here, trying to see if this thing can continue. Still, all-time high is $50, so still could get to that $50 zone here, which is a massive push up from where we are, but a kind of big level here on the weekly chart to break out and to close above. So looks good. Any sort of consolidation or pullback, I'm now in full-on bull mode on silver, looking to see if we can get some there. Euro GBP. This one I like trading because it gets pretty range bound. I took a little bit of short near the top of this range. I covered near the bottom of this range. Now I'm looking to see if this breaks. If we go to Euro USD, however, a nice 4 weeks up here in the Euro. Over to the Dixie, which is the dollar index. Again, another weak in the dollar. So we had a down week off of this resistance, a little inside week, and then some continuation. Wouldn't shock me to see us drifting lower here as well. Still, I need to keep an eye on the yen, right? Japan has basically come out and said, we are going to defend this level. We are not letting people push our currency around for too much. See, I got to listen to them when they do that. And ever since then, we've seen these crazy moves here on the 4-hour chart where these are obvious areas where the Bank of Japan steps in. Maybe we're going to get another one of those. If we ever get below this low right here, I could see a quick flush maybe down to this zone. And I think that might be the play here on the yen. So without further ado, let's pop into trade ideas here and take a look at the equity markets. We'll go to the weekly chart, and we're going to start here with the SPY. Strong week on the SPY. And if I bring this line up, nice breakout of these prior highs right here. I do have this risk on, risk off model that I've been playing with, and it's pretty neutral right now. And that's because there's some things under the hood that are a little bit worrisome. Again, I'll explain this more in detail when I have it kind of perfected the way I like. But the idea is that I'm taking a lot of things under the hood of the market and having that give me whether or not I think the market's very strong or very weak under the hood, and then applying that to price action. This will be part of the Substack product that I'll be launching soon. So make sure you go to StatsEdgeTrading.com and then you sign up for that Substack. That and all of my stock picks are going to be free for now, but then they're going to be in that Substack product when I launch it. But again, regardless of what the risk model says, you can't argue with price, and a nice breakout and a very strong close here on the weekly chart. So everything looks good there. UNG, I just want to update this trade. We've been long UNG from this kind of $15 area for the longest time. Got up to 19 today. I did scale a little bit out into this close right here, but I do think we could potentially take a shot at these highs. Now, other than that, there's not a whole lot of different ETFs to go through because everything was strong this week. There was really no sector that stood out one way or the other. We have copper, we have metals, we have gold, we have uranium. These are all the things that we talked about if we were going to get a push into commodities. If you go back, earlier in the year, we were talking about how we were seeing some commodity strength under the hood. That seems to be what's happening here in the overall market. But it's not like semiconductors or XLK, which is our technologies, it's not like these have been left behind at all. These are also pushing up to new highs. So it's one of those times in which everything is bullish, so you don't really need to look too far under the hood. You just need to stick with that bullish overall trend. So let's just get into a couple names that I want to take a look at here. The first one here is Occidental Petroleum, or OXY. Let's go to daily chart. A nice pullback from this major anchored view app, which is also the 200-day moving average, and it's holding in right here. We talked about just a second ago, commodities seem to be coming into play. Buffett's favorite, Oxy, may be a nice little shot right here. We know we're wrong at kind of $62, give or take. Maybe an entry around 63, 64, and if we're right, it's up to 70. It's a good risk reward on that. Other one is IBRX, looking at this name right here, a pull back into this major anchor view app. This one has a 40% short float, right? We had GME come and go, and unfortunately to anyone who chases that or is in the ape cult, I'm sorry, you got had again. Sorry, I don't know what to say, but still, short float stocks may be a little bit worried, so we have to take a look at that. From the weekly breakout scanner, I'm liking the look of Hood here, and Hood is actually breaking out into these highs finally after a very long time, and this really long potential rounded bottom right here as well. So a couple good looking names when it comes to the different scanner. Last but not least, I need to refresh myself, there is SAH, and SAH has been breaking this $60 per share level. It's been a big resistance here on Sonic Automotive. So couple breakouts, couple pullbacks. I want to continue with this trend. That risk model has me a little bit concerned, but all it means is I'm going to continue to trade with the trend. I'm just going to be a little bit tighter when it comes to my risk management and things like that. So thank you all for joining me. I appreciate very much everyone coming and giving likes and all of that. Make sure you go to StatsEdgeTrading.com, sign up for that free email list so I can email you the charts and everything that I put out with it. And when it's time to launch that product, you guys will be the first to know. I'll talk to you soon.